All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Green White Checkered TV. Tonight we have the Area 51 Racing League Cup Series here at Kansas. Scheduled to 100 laps for the events this evening. So I got our points pulled up though. Going into this race, this is race number 8 of 12. So after tonight, just a few more weeks to go, and we will crown a Season 5 champion. So right now you see Maxwell Caldwell leading the way by just 5 points over Ryan Kelly. Jack Walls in third, 17 out of the lead, and 20 out of the lead is Chad Wilkes in that number 17. And rounding up the top 5 in the points is James Ledford, closely followed behind by Corey Cook. In 7th you have Dalton Hayes, 8th is Dwight Plush, 9th is Corey Lane, and rounding out the top 10 in the points is Levi Cox. So drivers are finishing up their qualifying laps for tonight's race. Kansas is going to be a tricky one. It's a mile and a half, but it's very different to most of the other mile and a half tracks here on iRacing just because of just how critical that top line is here. I think that's what we're going to see is we're going to see everybody probably start finding their way to the top as soon as that momentum really starts forming. You might have a few laps on the bottom, but I have a feeling we're going to see drivers to the top here pretty quickly to keep that momentum up. And it's an extremely difficult track to pass that, so we'll see what these drivers are able to do to kind of try to figure out a way to make that happen, and of course try to keep those tempers in check as well. Alright, so letting everybody finish up here. Looks like qualifying is just about completed. So yeah, unfortunately, I think I might be rolling solo this evening. Don, with our wonderful Arizona heat. He has to work outside, unfortunately. So I think that may have taken its toll on him today and this afternoon. So if he comes in late, I'd be more than thrilled to have him. But definitely his health first before anything else. So Don, hopefully you're feeling better. Keep resting up, and look forward to being able to join you in the booth here next time you're around. Alright, so with that, we're going to go over our starting grid for the race this evening. Jack Walls in that number 83. He's going to put it on that pole position with the 29.744. In that second position, you got Maxwell Caldwell. In third, Harrison Chandler. In fourth is Nick Fleury. Fifth is Eric Schaus. 6th is Cody Cox. 7th, James Ledford. And 8th is Charles Johnson. Then you got 9th through 10th there, or 9th through 16th, I should say, apologies. You got Corey Cook, Brendan Pastelacqua, Mark Brown, Ryan Kelly, Michael Spell, Len McNeese, Jim Brooks, and Corey Lane. In the remainder of the grid here, you've got David Leclerc, Nicholas Nook, Doug Johnson, David Patton, Art Peck, Dalton Hayes, Dwight Plush, and Mike Morrison. And they just finished up here just in the nick of time because pace car is pace car is up and going. Drivers are going to get lined up here for the initial start. Now here at Area 51 Racing League, they go on green on the initial start, and then on all subsequent restarts, the leader has control of the restarts. So definitely gives the leader a bit of an advantage, deservedly so for being that leader. So we'll see if that comes into play this evening. So, yeah, so I think the question we're going to be waiting to see is going to be when and how quick are we going to see drivers jump from the bottom lane to the top. I think that's going to be important. So I think it's just going to be once those tires start to wear a little bit, and that's where patience is going to definitely have to come into play. Let's wait for that green flag to fly, and we will get underway. And there they go. We are away at Kansas, again scheduled 100 laps here tonight. So you got Jack Walls leading the way with a good push right off the bat from Harrison Chandler in that 30 right behind him. So Maxwell Caldwell is going to try to make the top line work. But you see right now that inside line is definitely where you want to be on that initial start, just the shorter way around while you're still building the speed. Jackson going to jump up to the top side here off of 2. And see if he can get to the bottom in 3. It looks like actually that 30 of Harrison Chandler is going to get to his door here. So we'll see if Harrison can complete the pass on the inside line. But right now, say they're door to door at the line. Looks like Harrison Chandler is going to lead that first lap. So now we wait and see when that momentum starts to shift from the low line to the high line. See at 30 just trying to clear himself off the 83. Couldn't quite do it as they go door to door down the back. And so you can already see the momentum starting to form on that top side. And saying that's what we're going to see, I think, here all race long. Is at some point you're going to see everybody want to kind of migrate to the top. So looks like this time around, yep, the 83 is Jack Wells. He's going to get that lap led there. So that's this first lap went to that number 30 car. Now it's gone to the 83. And you see Jack with a big arc there from top to bottom there at their turns 1 and 2. And so he's going to hang on to the lead here off of turn number 2. So you see some drivers already starting to really commit to the top side. Looks like Eric Schaus is definitely one. So that's going to be just one of the things these drivers are going to have to get comfortable with is having to run that wall. As at some point you're going to see these drivers all the way up against it, I feel like. So that's going to be where that speed is. Right now they say they're giving it a little bit of space to kind of play it safe, I think, right now. But at some point you're definitely going to see those drivers work their way up, I think, all the way to the outside wall. Which will say some drivers are better at it than others. Myself not being one of those that are very good at it. This will be a good tell here. So we're going to hop on board that 722 of Eric Schaus. You see he's kind of running that middle groove, and you see Jack gets all the way to the bottom, but you can see the momentum on the exit that 722 of Eric Schaus gets there off of turn number 3 and 4, or 1 and 2 I should say. And this time actually 3 and 4 he's going to bring it to the bottom right behind the 83 of Jack Wells. So it looks like he's kind of trying to see where that speed is. We can see you got a pretty good exit. Of course, these cars with the lower downforce lower horsepower and higher downforce, that's going to really shake things up. But as they say that though, then you got the over under here. Say you saw 83 go to the top. Eric's going to get to the bottom, can't quite clear him. That's going to open the door for that 94 Maxwell Caldwell to try to fill that gap here and see if he can grab that second spot away as well. I think that's actually a perfect example of what we're going to watch this evening is if you want to try to pass on the inside, you need to clear them and get to the inside. You need to basically actually clear them and get to their outside, almost like equivalent of a slide job, if you will, to just try to get in front of them, because otherwise that momentum on the top side is going to carry the outside line right on by you, and that's exactly what's happened to Eric there. He went for the lead there and unfortunately just couldn't quite clear him. Oh, as he makes just slight contact with the wall. You'll see that a lot here this evening. So I don't think that's going to hurt the car at all, though. I think he'll still be in good shape as this run progresses. So you can see right there behind him is that 9 of Cody Cox. He's moving up from the 6th position up to 4th. You see he's running just inside Charles Johnson actually as well. I think Eric may have got the wall just a little bit as well there. I saw the 28 of Charles Johnson make contact with the wall, and looks like that's cost him a handful of spots here. Or actually, I don't think it was Charles. I think it was a car that looked like Charles. So I'm getting thrown off up here. I think it was the 09 actually of Corey Cook. My apologies. Wherever it was, there's a lot of movement going on with these drivers trying to find where they need to be. So yeah, so right now though, still up in front is that number 83 of Jack Wells. Again, I think he's going to need to protect that outside line. So we'll see. Now it's also going to be about maintaining those tires and not burning up that right front, pushing too hard, because that's just going to make it all the more tempting to push that car up into that outside wall. There goes that 9 of Cody Cox. Right now, one of the bigger movers started 6th up to 3rd now. Saying we're only on lap number 10 right now of the 100, so good start for him. So you can see again Cody making that top line work very well here. So we'll keep an eye on him as this race keeps moving forward. So the other driver moving forward is that 09 of Corey Cook. Right now Corey is fighting for the 5th spot with that 025 Eric Fleury. Looks like Corey's just going to hang on to that spot. Again, you see how close he's flirting with that wall. Corey started in 9th and is up into that 5th spot. Gonna move around just a little bit here, see where else is going on up front. Oh, you see James Ledford there. He's in a little bit of a battle. Oh, actually, as I said, that caution is out. Oh, I saw a few drivers involved. I saw the 10 was involved in there. Looks like the 88 as well. And I thought I saw the 50 of David Leclerc. Yeah, he's got some damage to that car as well. So, unfortunately, it's going to put us under our first caution of the evening on lap number 12. Let's go ahead and see what happened here to bring out this first caution. Looks like it was coming out of turn number 2 between the 88 and the 50. So let's see if we can get a good look, see what happened here. Trying to find a better angle. Oh, so you can see him close on the exit there. Oh, David just gets too high. He's going to catch the outside wall. That's going to send him into Michael's spell. Nothing Michael can do there. And then just unfortunately right into the path of a handful of drivers. You see there's that 10 that we'd mentioned, Corey Lane. Jim Brooks looks like he got a little bit of damage from that as well. Actually gets a little more there. And oh, the 38, nothing that David Patton can do as well. He gets heavy contact to the, looks like he's going to get sent right to the inside wall. And he might be able to hang on to here. A little bit of contact. So yeah, unfortunately some damage for that number 38 machine as well. So that's going to be our first caution here. Looks like everybody's in the pits though. So I'd say probably going to see some fast repairs, some damage repair as well. So let's jump over to our pole sitter and race leader. And looks like strategy, I believe, yeah, strategy from Eric Schaus here early on is going to try the 2-tire stop here. It looks like Jack's going to hang on to second though from those that made that pit strategy. And then I think another driver that took the strategy is that 28 of Charles Johnson. That's going to get him up to 3rd, I believe. No, 4th place, I'm sorry. So yeah, so say a little bit of pit strategy for some of these drivers. So although I'm seeing that 83 here drop to the bottom. Oh, I hope not. I have a sinking feeling that we might have some speeding penalties here for actually both Charles Johnson and Jack Walls. So you can see they're moving over here, letting everybody by. So unfortunately that strategy did not pan out for these guys. They're going to have to wait for the field to go by, and then they'll go ahead and I'm going to guess for Charles, he'll at least take the left side tires as well. So yeah, it's unfortunate there for Charles and for the 83 as well. But say if you're gonna do it, I guess at least let it happen early. That's gonna do. I would say, I mean, at least have time to recover here. But yeah, unfortunate though for our pole sitter Jack Walls. They're in the 83. Charles Johnson in that 28 machine. So they're trying to let everybody by there. So at this point, I think yeah, here they both come in. Makes sense at this point. Might as well pit, get some more fuel, get left side tires if you're that 28 car. So yeah, it's gonna leave now the 722 of Eric Schaus in the lead. Again, it looks like now he's gonna be the only driver with 2 tires. However, he'll be out with the control of this restart. So yeah, we'll have to see how this goes. Say it's gonna be unfortunately it's gonna be kind of Eric versus everybody else right now on the 2 tires versus 4. But like I said, this is a good place to test it, good time to test it as well. Because if it doesn't work out, well, you've got about 80. You'll have probably about 80 or so laps to kind of change from there. So while we're under yellow, we'll step away for just a moment, and we'll rejoin here on the 1 to go. Alright, so you see lights are off on the pace car, everybody's getting doubled up here. So again, let's say one of the new rules here with Area 51, so now that's 722 of Eric Schaus. He doesn't have to wait for that green flag to fly. Once that pace car's off the racing surface, he can let go whenever he wants to and try to get as big of a gap as he can. He's saying it's going to be up to that 94 Maxwell Caldwell, 09 of Corey Cook to try to stay as close to him as possible. And saying, you see, there they go right off the bat. Eric Schaus with, oh, actually contact behind. We're going to have a quick yellow here. Say, yeah, looks like, oh, we got a lot of cars involved on this one. Say they're still stacking up behind. Say Corey, looks like Cody Cox got spun around there. See the 09 in there as well. It's Corey Cook. See the 38, unfortunately, again involved. Also the 50 of David Leclerc. Say their nights are not going well for them. Oh, and heavy damage as well for the 48 of James Ledford here. So yeah, let's see what happened there. That was interesting the way that all panned out. Alright, so we see the Eric Schaus take off there. So I'm running slow-mo, so don't worry, they haven't forgotten how to press the gas pedal. But say, what happened here behind us? I see the 09 and then the 9. I'm wondering if that's where the contact began between the two of them. And so you see Maxwell here try to get in line behind. Oh, actually, something happened to the 9 car. I don't know if it was a missed a shift. I'd say just judging by the way it spun around on him. Let's go on board here and see if we can watch and listen. That's going to tell us the most, I think. They may have unfortunately been a misshift, one of those probably going from second to first instead of second to third. So let's listen in here. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that may have been a money shift there from second to first instead of second to third. I've been guilty of that myself as well, so let's go. I say we'll still take another look and see who else was involved and how that all happened for them. Maybe we can try to get a better angle of it. Alright, so you can see that black car just to the top of the screen there, and then the 09, you see that, so you see the spin happen. Oh, actually right in front of the 13 of Ryan Kelly, so that's going to be damage for the 13 as well. And then just from here, it's just unfortunately a bit of a stack up. You see these drivers all getting caught up in it. Yeah, that's where James Ledford got the contact. Yeah, Jim Brooks gets to the back of him afterwards as well. And then you see just unfortunately the track's just pretty much completely blocked here. So you see everybody's trying to find a way safely through. For the most part they do. But yeah, so that's what happened there, unfortunately. So yeah, so say it's going to be, again, some more damage repairs. Oh, I didn't turn the camera thing off again. I do that too much. Let's go back and watch it again, will we? Or shall we? Alright, so we're going to watch that 09 here and the 9. Let's not go full speed though. Alright, there we go. So you see the 9 starting to has that misshift. He spins it around. So you see Ryan Kelly gets involved. And then from there, so you're going to see a few other drivers make contact as well. Like I said, you can see here the track's just pretty much starting to block right away. That's where James Ledford gets contact. You see the 76 gets to the back of him. And then there's a few more drivers get caught up in that one as well. So yeah, so restart crashes are really tough because unfortunately on those there's just not much you can do. So like I said, that's what put us back under that yellow. So again, probably a lot of fast repairs here. So I'm waiting for everybody to cycle back around because it looks like we had a lot of pit stops there as well. One thing I am watching though is I heard the fuel window is roughly around 40 laps or so, which will say drivers that pit here, top off here, probably can make it on one stop. Again, should we go green? So I see the 76 at Jim Brooks. He looks like he did use a fast repair. He is one of the first to do that top off strategy. Looks like Charles Johnson's going to join that party as well. So we are on the one to go though. So Eric Schaus going to lead the way again. And so looks like the top, let's see, top 8 here all stayed out from that quick restart caution. I'll say again, not a much of a change on the tires, just can give them a little bit more fuel. So let's say they might be thinking same thing. Maybe they can make it on the one stop here to the end. Should we go green, of course. However, say it's going to be a lot tighter for these leaders up front. So say that's, we'll have to wait and see. Say we're going to restart here with 80 to go of the scheduled 100 laps. Again, right now Maxwell Caldwell leading the way. Eric Shaw's leading the way. Maxwell Caldwell second, Nick Fleury in third, and then Brandon Passalacqua in the 23 car. He is gone from 10th to the 4th position. And another big gainer is that 10 of Corey Lane. He is gone from 16th to 6th in that number 10 car. So a couple of big gainers here so far. So you see there, Jack Wells in 83. He's worked his way back up now after that speeding penalty up into 7th. And we are back underway here at Kansas. You see Nick was able to get around Maxwell there. Oh, actually, we're going to have another quick yellow here on the backstretch. It looks like you see the 33. It's Nicholas Nook involved. So it looks like it may have been just him. Wonder if he may have got caught on the left rear, maybe spun around. So well, let's see what happened to this number 33 machine to bring out this third caution. That blue car running the top side through 1 and 2. So let's see if he comes through turn 2. Oh yeah, sure enough, left rear quarter contact with that 9 of Cody Cox. That's going to send him around. So it looks like just the 2 of them there, though, make the contact. I don't see anybody else involved. However, like I said, it's going to put things back under caution. And then, fortunately, I say not a lot of damage for that 33 machine. Should be able to get things back going. Just maybe, I would say, just get some manual damage repair. Don't even use a fast repair on that one. So yeah, so unfortunately, I say back under yellow here. It's the third caution now of the race. So say start off pretty good there. Saying there's, let's say, a couple of quick cautions these last 2 restarts. So all the riding around under yellow will step away for a moment, and we'll rejoin things again here on the 1 to go. Alright, so you see lights on the pace car are off. Drivers coming through 3 and 4. So we're going to try to regroup here and give another shot. Going to restart with 75 to go. Say we're just reaching a quarter distance here in the race. And I'll say I think with these cautions, I think everybody, of course, I think will be in pretty good shape now to make it on a one stopper to make it to the end. That being said, though, there's still a long ways to go. And so you see that 722 is going to get things going again. And right now, Eric's going to get a pretty decent start there. He's going to lead things off. And you see Nick Fleury try to see if he can squeeze down to the inside. Unfortunately, it looks like that 94 Maxwell Caldwell, he's going to hold that spot. And they're running side by side there through 1 and 2. Now it's going to be all about the momentum. I'll see what these drivers do. So I'm curious to see if Eric wanted to get to the bottom, but it looks like he's going to stay. Well, he's going to have to stay top there because Maxwell with a big head of steam there. He's going to grab that spot. So yeah, it looks like that inside line definitely does work for at least a few laps before you want to jump to the top side. So same thing here. We'll watch and see when that's going to happen. You see a pretty good gaggle here right behind them. Pretty much the top 9. Yeah, top 9 looks like drivers all right together in this little battle here. You see Maxwell still kind of holding that bottom line. See behind them a little bit of movement between. Looks like Brennan's under pressure from the 83 of Jack Walls, but Jack just doesn't really have anywhere to go yet. So he's trying to see if he can find a way or sneak around that number 23 car. But right now, Brennan's holding a really nice line here. But it looks like Jack's going to just squeeze in front of that 30 of Harrison Chandler there. So it looks like that's going to keep him, at least give him one spot there. But you can see here now, it looks like that movement starting to happen towards that top lane. So you see a lot of drivers here jump into it, and it looks like that momentum is really starting to pick up again. Almost in contact with the 50. He's going to try to hang on to it, and does. Great hands there by David Leclerc. So I couldn't see who he made contact with. So let's go back and take a quick look real fast. They kind of had contact between the two of them there entering turn number 1. I think it was actually 10 of Corey Lane. You'll see he's going to move up. I think Corey's going to come down a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit of contact, possibly a little bit of net code. So unfortunately I sent David for a ride here, but able to regroup. But unfortunately is at the back of the lead pack now. So lost a ton of track position. He's one of those drivers I feel like has just had nothing but bad luck lately, so hopefully he'll have some races where he can turn that around in that number 50 machine. So watching Mark Brown here trying to fight with that 30 Harrison Chandler. So right now things are pretty even up front, so everybody's running pretty single file right now. One of the first battles here is right there with James Ledford and then the 09 of Corey Cook. Both these drivers, of course, having to try to work their way back forward after having those damaged cars from those earlier incidents. So again, that's the benefit of having those fast repairs, that you can have something happen to you, but still not be knocked out of the race right away. So keeps these two in the mix, and here in this one, and so you see also Mike Morrison there fighting with that number 10 of Corey Lane. This is for the 9th position. Actually, I'm going to jump a little further forward as I saw some business picking up towards the front there. I think I saw Jack Walls in the fight there. Yeah, he is. Working with Nick Fleury there in the 025, trying to see if he can make the inside line work. Jack's on the way to get himself back up into that 4th position. And he's trying to see what he can do, see if he can get 3rd. But again, I think that top line's starting to really kick in here. Go back to that Mark Brown battle for a moment, see how things are going over there. Looks like now he's got actually Michael Spell right behind him working that top side. And I see Corey Cook now trying to get to the inside of that 10. Not too far behind. You see Charles Johnson, looks like he's starting to sneak into that picture as well. So let me find where that 28 car go. There he is. Yeah, he's starting to creep into this fight as well here. But looks like that last time by, Corey Cook actually able to get around the 10 and the 66, so that's going to move Corey now up into the top 10. Say right now there's a second little pack a little bit further back right now. Art Peck is leading that group there. So it looks like he's actually caught or actually I think Len McNeese has gotten around him in that 084. And you see the 38 who's involved in that last one. David Patton, Jim Brooks is in that mix as well. So kind of like two little packs here. Nicholas Nook in that 33, he's back in this one as well here. So yeah, as to say, a lot of drivers, kind of a two little group run at the moment. However, up front though, Maxwell Caldwell, he's snuck away while we've been watching this. So he's got about a second lead here over that 72 of Eric Schaus. So jump over to 722, you can see the distance they have there. And I'll say, and actually, while we're watching all that, Jack Wall's gotten around that 025, so move Jack back up into third. So really strong recovery for him after having that pit road speeding penalty on the first stop. So I say went from first to the back and now back up into that third position. So you can see he's closing that gap on that 722 here, trying to challenge for that second spot. It's like Corey Cook's continuing his charge forward. Got around the 30 of Harrison Chandler. Now you see he's all over the back of that 88 of Michael Spell. And I say this is something you won't see very often, but you're going to see drivers possibly try to protect that outside line through the tri-oval. Usually, I say at these tracks, you don't really ever see that. You see him always want to get right to the bottom. But here, with that top line being so strong, you see, oh, Corey, a little bit of contact actually between himself and the 88. Oh, looks like Michael's trying to squeeze him. Wants to keep that top side for himself. Let's say, but looks like Corey's going to try to fill that gap, and he does. And that's unfortunate. That's what I'm saying. That's what you're going to see here. And you see right there the 23, Brandon Pasalacqua. Same thing there. He's going to run the top side because he wants to try to keep underneath. Oh, you see, though, looks like the 88 not happy with the 09 there. He's going to charge after him, trying to squeeze in there. It looks like Brandon's going to cut him some slack. But you can see those two lost a lot of momentum. Here comes that 30. Harrison Chandler, he takes it 3 wide. He's going to try to send it in deep here into 3. Grabs the spot. We'll see if he slides up all the way to the top and try to kind of protect the top side. But looks like for the moment he's going to just stay on the bottom. That's going to open the door for Brandon here to grab that spot back on the outside. Things are picking up towards the front. There's a Mark Brown's in a nice little calm spot for himself here at the moment. I say Corey Cook's able to sneak by him. I say now Corey's up into that top 5. But yeah, so that was a busy lap or so there with those drivers. I say it looks like Jack Wall's still trying to see if he can work around that 722 of Eric Schaus, but Eric's holding pretty steady right now. I say with those 2 tires. So again, I think that's going to be something that he can keep in store for later on in the race. So I think the only reason we really saw Maxwell get away from him was just because that Eric kind of went to the top side there and didn't protect the bottom on the initial start, and that's where that power was there. So you still had the speed on the inside for that lap or 2, and then afterwards you want to get to that top side once these tires start to wear a little bit. See Mark Brown actually, he's still running the bottom side. We'll see how it's working. As you can see a cluster behind him though, so you got a lot of cars in this little mix here. So you see Brandon Pasalacqua with the 88 of Michael Spell. And so you also see here comes that 084 Len McNeese. He's been making a charge. Was in the back on this restart. He's working his way forward, trying to get underneath. But again, you see there he's losing that momentum. And so it looks like, oh, Brandon's actually going to, again, he's going to roll out of it here and just kind of some really good sportsmanship from that 23 right now. Maybe doesn't have the pace he wants at the moment. So it's going to kind of say, again, I was kind of joking earlier before the race started that I'll say give and take is a hard one to see here at Kansas just because how everybody wants to be on that top line. But you see Brandon doing it there, so a lot of respect from that 23 car being given. So hopefully people return the favor to him when he's in a position trying to make his way forward in these races. See Charles Johnson there sneaking around the outside as well. That's going to move Charles up into the 12th position, I believe. And saying you see it's still that 084 Len McNeese trying to get all the way around the 88 of Michael Spell, just can't quite do it yet. I said this is kind of where they kind of talk about that Dale Jr. loves to call those slide jobs. You just sometimes you have to send it in really deep into 1 and 2 or 3 and 4 and just wash up there and try to take that top side away. And I say Len's able to do it a little bit more. What would you say? Kind of the more typical way, I guess. And actually just stay to the bottom and get a good exit off, and is going to grab this 8th position away from Michael Spell. Jump back forward. So it looks like things still holding pretty steady in that 2nd and 3rd fight. Say, knowing Jack, I think he's just kind of trying to bide his time right now, not abusing his stuff too much yet. So I'll say we're going to jump around the field a little bit more. Looks like the 76 Jim Brooks, actually the fastest car on track that last time by. Ran a 31.5, whereas pretty much everybody else is in 31.6s. So maybe he's trying to save his tires here early on, and then maybe he's trying to make a charge as this run progresses. Like I said, this is definitely a track where you can save your stuff, and it'll pay off as the run kind of carries on here. So right now he's showing in the 15th position, which is actually just right where he started. But unfortunately, we saw earlier was caught in one of those incidents, so I believe had to use a fast repair on that one as well. I say now one of the quicker cars on track is that the 09 of Corey Cook, ran a 31.556. Say Corey still showing in that 5th position, and saying Corey's kind of in a nice little calm pocket here. He's got about 1.5 seconds to the next car behind him. And you see he's got about a 0.5 second to that car, Nick Fleury, right in front. This is a battle for the 6th position between Harrison Chandler and that number 30 Autism Awareness car. And you see Mark Brown trying to see if he can get around him and grab that 6th position. Looks like, again, it looks like the 30 is going to roll out of it here. Let the 68 go by here through 3 and 4. So again, I say as a competitor, as also as someone who's done admin for some leagues and stuff like that, I really like what I'm seeing here from these drivers. A lot of give and take, a lot of respect for each other. So that's awesome from these drivers right now. So this is good. This is good stuff, right? In my opinion. So it looks like Brandon Passalacqua able to sneak around Charles Johnson, move himself back up into 12th. He's not too far behind James Ledford there. Saying James is not too far away from Corey Lane, so this is 10th, 11th, and 12th right there, and actually right in front of him, Michael Spell as well. So all these drivers pretty much just all together here, say within about a second or so of each other, probably even a little less right now. So yeah, so this is the battle. Like I said, this is 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. As we've gone about 36 laps on this run, we're going to come around this time around. It's going to be 52 to go. So again, we talked about that fuel window being in that 40 lap range or so. Of course, we had some laps under yellow, so that's going to be the goal, I think, for these drivers. If they can get to lap 60 or so to pit with 40 to go, I think that's going to be the game plan for a lot of these drivers here. I think it looks like Jack might be, Jack looks like he's putting the pressure on Eric Schaus. He's going to try to see if he can get that spot. But you can see just what that momentum is doing right now, and saying while they do this, it's actually bringing that 025 Nick Fleury right up into this battle as well. And saying you see Corey Cook not far behind as well. So we're going to have a 4-car battle for the 2nd position here very shortly. But say Eric's doing what he needs to do. He's trying to protect that top side. That's where the speed is right now, especially with these older tires. So you saw Jack try to make a couple attempts. It looks like just hasn't been able to do it yet. Saying that's kind of where that frustration builds. You can see the 83 looks like he does have pretty good pace here. Just isn't able to find the way around, and that's kind of, again, that's where you'll start seeing the aggression pick up a little bit, where possibly the driver, like I said, will send it pretty deep into turn 1 or turn 3 and then try to slide up in front of that car in front and try to kind of make him lose that momentum if possible, and also possibly get them a little tight. As I was saying, that Corey Cook there, it's right next to the wall there off of entering turn number 1. Looks like he should be fine. I don't think he may have touched it, just really close though. Let's hop on board the 09 of Corey Cook as we watch these drivers here fight. For the 2nd position, you can see the 025 there of Nick Fleury. 83 right in front is Jack Walls again, and then the 722 of Eric Schaus. And as I was mentioning, we just passed the halfway mark, so we have 49 to go now. You can see everybody was running the same line here. There's not a lot they can do. Saying the driver loving this right now is going to be that 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. Say, you can see Corey gets right to the back bumper of that 025. Not quite. So they just can't quite make a move yet. But saying, again, this is where if you can get a good exit, maybe you can try to move. But you see here, that 025, he's opening up the bottom. So yeah, if you want to pass me, by all means, go low. But obviously that's not where Corey wants to go here. So he's going to stay in line. And saying the other problem, of course, is where Jack is now. He can't really make an aggressive charge either, because should he try, it's possible he'll go from 3rd to 5th. let's see if we can jump around a little bit more. So I think I saw some battles moving just a little further back. Yeah, so looks like the 10 of Corey Lane. Brendan Passalacqua trying to get the inside run here. I think he might just be able to clear him on the entry, and he does. You can see he immediately gets to the top as soon as he can. So that's going to move Brandon now up into that top 10 spot. So actually right where he started as well. But you see Corey gets a good exit off of 2, and Brandon's going to have to give the room. He doesn't want to squeeze him there. So yeah, so still this position isn't completely settled. As you can see, Brandon's going to run the bottom, and here comes that top side, that big momentum from that 10 of Corey Lane. So Corey's going to get right back up into there. So we mentioned, of course, Jim Brooks, one of the faster cars on the track these last few laps. He's worked his way up into 13th, and he's closing up on this fight here. So he's right now in the mix to try to grab one of those top 10 spots. Jump around a little bit, so try to find some drivers we haven't chatted much about. Ryan Kelly is one, and say that's Mr. Long Run there, and say yeah, sure enough, he's the fastest car the last time by. He's going to try to get underneath Jim Brooks here, see if he can grab that position. But say you see he's got a lot of traffic in front of him, so he doesn't have a lot of room to work around here. So he's going to have to try to pick him off one at a time if he can. He's going to squeeze the middle though off of 2. It looks like he's going to grab the spot from Brendan Passalacqua. Again, the give and take from Brandon there. And you see, as soon as he got some room to get to the top, he's going to jump and grab that spot. So move Ryan Kelly now up into the 12th position. And, so I wouldn't be surprised here to see just a couple laps that Ryan. Oh, you see Ryan Kelly, he wants the top side. He doesn't want to stay under, or he doesn't want to get to the inside line. And sure enough, James Ledford actually doesn't quite get there, so he's going to still stay behind that 48 car entering turn 1. But you see, he gets a nice entry, and he's going to try to use that and cut down on the exit. And you see, oh yeah, sure enough, James washed up a little bit on the exit. That opens the door and move Ryan Kelly now up into the 11th spot. Things still holding pretty steady up in front. You see Jim Brooks trying to follow that 13 around if he can. Say Ryan Kelly's going to be definitely one to watch, and say one to learn from as well. Again, you can see he really wants to get to that top side. He does not want to be pinned to the inside, and he was able to get just to the right rear corner of that 10 of Corey Lane. And oh, close between the two of them. Looks like a little bit of contact off the wall, off of 2 there, but looks like they're going to both keep it pointing in the right direction. So that's going to move Ryan up into the top 10 here. Jim Brooks trying to follow him around, and that's going to move Jim up into 11th. I was trying to say we'll jump around the field a little bit. Haven't mentioned really Dalton Hayes here. He's in a nice little calm pocket, if you will. 23, Brendan Passalacqua is in with 42 to go. So I think that should be right on the edge of making it there to the end, but he's probably trying to take advantage of some fresh tires. 50, David Leclerc's in as well. But yeah, Dalton Hayes right now running in the 17th position, started 22nd. Behind him is that 44 of Dwight Plesh, is in 18th, started 23rd. And here comes one of our first leaders to pit, that 722 of Eric Schaus. I remember Eric took the 2 tires early on and was just doing all he could pretty much to hold off that 83 of Jack Walls. But actually with that, it looks like Nick Fleury was able to, yeah, it looks like Jack's actually dropped a couple spots like we had mentioned. So that's going to move Nick now up into 2nd, Corey in 3rd. This is all about a 2.5 seconds behind our race leader, Maxwell Caldwell. So he's going to stay out one more lap. Looks like Nick is in. He's going to make his pit stop here with 40 to go. As I saw a few others following him in there. Mark Brown is in as well. I think it's Michael Spell, Corey Lane, they're in the pits here also. So this is going to be that timing of when to make these pit stops. Everybody's going to be pitting here within just a few laps. But I believe this should get everybody into their window though to make it to the end here. And you see Maxwell looks like he's going down to the inside. I think we're going to see that 94 in the pits as well. Corey Cook going to follow along as well. So that's going to give Jack Walls the lead. He's going to get a lap led in that 83. Let's see, 084. Len McNeese is staying out as well. So yeah, so we got a little bit of a mixed bag right now. But yeah, pretty much we're seeing most of these drivers here making pit stops under this cycle. Yeah, you see the 83. He's dropping to the inside. I think that's going to be the telltale that he's going to pit as well. So yeah, here comes Jack Walls going to be pitting, coming to 38 to go. Len McNeese is following suit as well. Ryan Kelly, Jim Brooks, they're staying out. These are going to be the two. Looks like they're going to run it the longest right now, as they've gone about 45 laps on this run for Ryan Kelly, 41 for Jim Brooks, as we have 38 to go. And it looks like, based on the ticker, these are pretty much the only drivers in the main group here that have yet to make their pit stop. So these drivers showing 1-2 at the moment, but again, I think we'll see them in here very shortly. And so you also see, here's what let's watch the tire difference and just the grip that these drivers have compared to the others. So you can see here Eric Schaus is going to take the top side, and I say Eric ran a 29.8 compared to the leader's 30.0. So I mean, yeah, I mean that's a big gap, and it's about over 2 seconds of a lap difference on speed. And so that's gonna be tough for these guys to compete with, obviously, right now. But their hope is, of course, is to have fresher tires at the end, and possibly they're probably trying to hope and catch a timely yellow, but it does not pan out. You see, aggressive entry for both of those drivers. Hopefully they got down to pit road speed. So you saw Jim Brooks has a duck to the inside to make sure he didn't run into the back of Ryan Kelly there on the entry. So they're pitting here, coming to 36 to go. So again, they're going to be pitting about 5 or so laps later than a lot of these drivers. Ryan Kelly hits his marks. See, the 76 of Jim Brooks is in as well here. So now we're going to wait and see when they both get out of the pits and say, hopefully, no speeding penalties. There goes the 13. Yep, there goes the 76. So they are both good. They had clean pit stops there. And actually, in the middle of the pit stop cycle, they're coming out of the pits now. And here is a caution. Oh, looks like the 09 of Corey Cook is involved. So we'll have to see where they cycle out through the pits here. Because now the question is going to be, is anybody going to want to pit or not? But I think this is actually great, though, for whoa, actually, there's one more car there. Who was that? Was 66 of Mike Morrison. Something happened to him as well. I think this is actually going to be a really good break, though, for Jim Brooks here, and then the 13er Ryan Kelly. All right, let's go see what happened here to bring out the caution. We're watching that 09 of Corey Cook. Oh, the 388 just looks like he just kind of drifts up, actually, into the left rear quarter panel of Corey Cook. That's Doug Johnson and Corey Cook. Nothing, I don't think anything Corey did wrong. They're not sure if there's something that we missed earlier on between the two of them. That's going to be a heavy hit there for Corey on the outside wall. And so you see the 388 there. He goes down to the inside. Looks like able to hang on to it. Just goes through the grass a bit. Then from Corey here, just kind of loops it around, tries to get things back going again in that 09 car. And of course, while you see, here goes Ryan Kelly, you see Jim Brooks try to get out of the pits as well, try to sneak around him there. So that's going to put us back under caution here. As you can see, Corey Cook is in the pits. And a little bit of a mixed bag here on pit stops. Looks like Eric Schaus is going to stay out. Looks like the free pass is going to go to Mike Morrison, I believe, in the 66. Let's watch him here. Oh, no, looks like he's actually rolling out of it, so it may have been someone else there. It looks like Mike's going to get trapped a lap down here, unfortunately for him. So looks like Ryan Kelly, Jim Brooks, they're going to cycle out of here in 3rd and 4th position. While a lot of those other leaders that had pitted earlier, they decided to pit again because, again, they have gone a few more laps on their tires than these other drivers. So Eric Schaus, he's going to try to stay out here. He pitted about 5 laps earlier. Harrison Chandler was about 3 laps earlier than those two. So, again, I think that caution timing worked out perfectly there for Jim Brooks and Ryan Kelly. That's going to, like I said, moves them up in 3rd and 4th, respectively. And they're going to also have a few drivers behind them that stayed out. Looks like Michael Spell here is going to be, let's say, it looks like he was going to maybe try to pit. No, he's going to stay out. Corey Lane staying out as well. And then you got James Ledford, Mark Brown. So I'm trying to see who the first of the drivers that pitted were under that yellow. I think it's going to be Maxwell Caldwell there. But you can see, though, he's going to be, looks like he's going to restart in about the 9th position. So he's going to have his work cut out for him to get his way back to the front here. All right, Alright, so with that, we are under yellow. You see Eric Schaus looks like he's trying to save some fuel on the inside. Let's see if we can see. Yep. No, he's still idling here, so I'm not sure. Maybe not going full fuel save, but running the short way around. So we'll say we're under yellow here. Right now we're on lap number 68 of 100, 33 to go. And then we're going to restart this race here with probably just about 30 to go. Again, everybody's good to go here on fuel. So saying again, we talked about how critical that top line is. So we'll see what's going to happen here. But we know what Eric's going to be doing. He's going to be protecting that top side. He's going to have to be holding off some fresh tires behind him though. So stick around. We'll be back in just a moment. I'll rejoin you here on the one to go. Alright, as you can see, lights are off on the pace car. So again, front row is going to be Eric Schaus in that 722. On the outside is that 30 of Harrison Chandler. So they're going to restart here with 30 to go at the line. Scheduled to 100 laps, so we've got 30 to go. Should we go green to the end? That row number 2 though, Jim Brooks and Ryan Kelly. Again, they pitted there. They were in the pits when that caution came out, so they're able to cycle through into that second row. And saying they got some older tires behind them before you get to the fresh tires of Maxwell Caldwell. Actually, let me rephrase that. Mark Brown, he took 2 tires in that 68 car. So as we are back under green, pretty good start there for the 30 car. I say it's hard to keep up with those leaders, but Maxwell's going to take advantage here. And saying if I'm that 76 of Jim Brooks, I'm going to jump to the bottom here in turn number 1 because you want to get to that bottom as quick as possible, especially here on the fresh tires. As you can see, the 30 of Harrison Chandler is going to do the same. And actually, they all stack up pretty tight here off of turn number 2 on the backstretch. So we watch, actually, Harrison's going to grab that spot back right now from Ryan Kelly. So I wonder if Ryan's just trying to save his tires just a little bit before he goes full kill mode, if you will. But if you look behind him, though, he has a hungry pack of cars right there. Oh, see, there's Mark Brown going to talk about him. Oh, contact between the two of them. I saw the 68 and the... Oh, yeah, we're going to be under yellow here. There's a bunch of cars involved. This is a big one here at Kansas. It looked like it kind of kicked off between the 68 and the 88, but we have a lot of drivers involved in that one. Let's go back and see how this all unfolded. Put us back under yellow here. You can see there the 88 and the 68. Looks like... No, it's just like the 88 kind of came down a little bit on the entry. Nothing, I don't think anything really Mark could do there. And then unfortunately behind them though, just all kind of kicks off from there. So you can see the 88 came down across. So you can see, so let's jump out a little bit. Oh, heavy hit for Charles Johnson. But yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of cars involved in this one. Unfortunately, you see the 36 of Art Peck's involved as well. The 084 Len McNeese was in that one as well. So yeah, I think I saw 10 of Corey Lane definitely had some damage to that car. So yeah, so unfortunately I'd say a lot of cars with some pretty heavy damage here. You see they're all starting to work their way into the pits, and surprisingly, I don't understand this strategy here. Ryan Kelly is in the pits. Actually, does he have... Let's go back and look. I feel like Ryan Kelly's got some damage to that number 13 machine. Let's see what happened to him here. Yeah, he definitely had the right front damage, but he actually had that before, like before the whole pit stop cycle. So I'm a little surprised to see him pit there. As he gave up the third position there. He's going to fall back to, it looks like 14th. So that's going to be tough sledding for him to work his way back forward. But I mean, I think it's going to be, that's definitely a huge break for Jim Brooks in the 76. Maxwell Caldwell as well. He's going to now be somehow in the 4th position after all that. So that's actually, how did he get all through all that? Because there's a lot of cars involved. So let's go watch the 94 here, see what he did. So we're gonna hop on board with that 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. You can see the contact between the two of them right there. Oh, and actually he was just in the right place at the right time. They're just able to sneak right underneath him. And saying that it's just some of those others a little further back weren't quite as lucky, but it looks like a good chunk of them did get through. You see Nick Fleury's there. 83 of Jack Walls got through. Looks like Brendan Pasalacqua, he snuck through as well. So, oh, looks like also the 38 of David Eaton, he got in through that one as well. So yeah, did have a few drivers make it through there. Looks like a little bit of rear damage on the 38, probably from an earlier incident though. So yeah, so I'll say right now we have 19 cars on the lead lap. Charles Johnson is a lap down at the moment. He's going to be fighting for that lucky dog with Mike Morrison in the 66. And I'll say drivers that have retired from the race look like Mark Brown in the 68, unfortunately in that last incident. Cody Cox has retired from the event, and I'm not sure on Doug Johnson. He's been sitting in the pits for a while, so he's 10 laps down. So obviously I won't be in contention for this one, as we're going to come around here. It'll be 25 to go at the line. So yeah, so we're going to see what these drivers are going to do. We'll see if we get the 1 to go this time by it, or if we're going to go another lap under caution here. Yeah, lights are still on, so we're going to restart here with 23 to go. So yeah, we'll step away for just a moment, I'll get some water, and then we'll rejoin here once we get things rolling. All right, so everybody's doubling back up, so that's going to get here one to go. Restart with 23 to go. Again, right now, top 13 drivers all stayed out under that last caution. And then from 14th on back, Ryan Kelly, Michael Spell, Art Peck, Dalton Hayes, Corey Lane, Len McNeese. They all pitted there under that caution and say, I think a lot of damage repairs on those drivers, possibly fast repairs if they still had them as well. And then that 28 of Charles Johnson, 66 of Mike Morrison going to be fighting to get that lucky dog and try to get back on the lead lap should a caution come out with the remaining 23 to go. So now again, drivers going to be, their goal here is going to be try to stay right on the back bumper of that 722 car of Eric Schaus. So he's going to try to control this restart again. Once the pace car drops, he can fire off whenever he wants, and he is away. And looks like he gets another really good start here. And saying, looks like actually, looks like that 30 car, he's going to be able to get to the bottom there. Yeah, he does right after the start-finish line. So you need to stay in your line before the start-finish line. Try not to change lanes before then, I believe is the rule. So that's going to keep Harrison in that second position. But he's going to have his hands full, though, with Jim Brooks there right behind him. And then to his outside, that 94 Maxwell Caldwell. Jack Walls as well is going to be in this mix here. As again, I think the inside line is going to work for a few laps, but eventually they're going to start merging right back up to the top here as they go through turns 3 and 4 onto the back stretch with 22, or front stretch with 22 to go. You see Maxwell, he's trying to work the top side. You can see the 30, he's going to try to work the top of that 722, but we'll see if the momentum is on the top side yet. Maxwell definitely got a good run there off of 2, but just nowhere for him to go here. As we got all 4 cars. Oh, 3 wide there with the 94 there. He's going to try to squeeze underneath the 30. We'll see if he can clear him. He does. And he's going to try to stay to the outside of that 76 of Jim Brooks, and he's able to do that as well. So right now these two are fighting for the second position, and also, of course, to try to see if they can sneak around the 722 of Eric Schaus, which surprisingly, actually, Eric goes from the top to the bottom there. I thought he would stay top there with the momentum, but he decided he wanted to run that bottom line here, and I think he's also trying to work the draft a little bit to keep these two drivers fighting each other, keep them side by side as long as possible. By much, close call between the 76 and the 94. Maybe slight contact between the two of them. They keep it clean though. However, Eric is really risking things here. I feel like he needs to get to that top side. I think Maxwell is going to have the momentum here off of 2. And I don't think Eric's going to be able to block it. And, it's close between the two of them. Contact in the backstretch. Jim Brooks going to sneak by here. But we got trouble behind them, though. Yeah, caution's out with Eric Schaus there. Heavy hit after the fact there. Let's say Maxwell Caldwell, he's got damage as well. So it's going to be a caution here at 20 to go. That was kind of what I was afraid of. I had a bad feeling that Eric didn't get to the top as quick as he needed to there. And same with just those slightly fresher tires, Maxwell was able to make the most of it. And I think they just were fighting for the same real estate there coming out of turn number 2. See if we can get a better look. You can see them as they come off of turn number 2. You can see Eric's trying to get to the top. Obviously, Maxwell doesn't want to give because he's got the momentum that he wants. And then just squeezes into the wall just a little. He's up against the wall there, and it's just not enough room for those two cars to fit, it looks like. And then, there's Maxwell. He catches the outside wall, and that's going to send him into the right rear of that 722. And then, unfortunately, that 30, we'll see. Actually, I don't know if Harrison was able to get around. It looks like he got maybe a little bit of right front damage. But you see some of these other drivers behind definitely makes contact there, though. And then Jack, looks like Jack's got a little bit of damage to that 83 as well. So you watch them as they come. You see everybody trying to duck to the bottom. Looks like James Ledford's going to sneak by here. And then also the 23, Brendan Pesolacqua, he sneaks by. So, close. Actually contact after the fact, unfortunately. So everybody's just trying to get back on track there and get settled in there. But we had some green flag pit stops, including some of our leaders as well, which I'm a little surprised to see. So it looks like Jim Brooks there made a 4-tire stop, I believe. Let me see if I can find him on the list. Yeah, a 4-tire stop for him for sure. Looks like Harrison also took 4 tires on that number 30 machine, is able to actually jump him in the pits there. So again, that fast repair coming into full effect there for that number 30 machine. And then I saw Nick Fleury, I believe, yeah, 2 tire stop for that 0.25, so he's going to go for the track position approach. However, we'll see if he stays out or not, but we have a strategy call from that 36 of Art Peck. Art stayed out there. He's only got 10 laps on his tires, and of course those are under yellow as well, so we'll see. Art's decided against it, so he's going to stay, or he's going to hit the pits. But you saw Charles Johnson there. He wants to stay out because he wants to get his wave around here. So he's going to stay out. And once we get that one to go, he's going to go ahead and take that wave around and get back onto the lead lap. Alright, so as it cycles around, so our new leader is going to be Nick Fleury in that 0.25. Nick's on 2 tires, Harrison Chandler on 4, Jim Brooks on 4, James Ledford as well. So actually, I believe from second on back, all took 4 tires. See, Jack Wall is able to get his damage repaired in that 83 and actually be able to stay in that 5th position, it looks like. Yeah, 5th position for the 83. And then here comes that 09, Corey Cook. So Corey's now back up into the 7th spot. Had a really strong 4-tire pit stop, 11.9 seconds. So great stop for Corey. It's going to get him back into contention here as well. So yeah, so I was a little surprised. I thought more people are going to stay out on this last yellow, but it looks like they think tires are going to be the key here. So yeah, so we got a kind of a mixed bag again on that strategy. So with that, right now our leader is at 0.25 of Nick Fleury. So we'll step away for just a moment and we'll rejoin the field here on the 1 to go. Alright, you see there Charles Johnson, he's going to go around here, he's going to get back on the lead lap. It's going to be on older tires, but with 15 to go, his goal here, of course, is just to be on the lead lap and be able to have a potential for a caution, of course, to get back into contention here with some fresh tires, possibly a faster pair if he has them, if he needs them. But yeah, so right now this is going to be the battle here. Going to restart with 14 to go. Again, that front row, we got the 2 tires on Nick Fleury, 4 tires on Harrison Chandler. Row 2 on back all have 4 tires. So I'll say pretty much no strategy here. Everybody's going to be going full send. Again, probably going to have a couple of laps of speed at the inside on the inside line, but then you're going to see all these drivers find their way to the top side, and say that's where we've seen some trouble before. So these drivers are going to have to definitely protect that top side. And I say again, I think this is going to be where we see that aggression pick up, because again, when you have tracks like this where it's hard to pass, and it's just, yeah, that's where that aggression happens. So you see everybody stacking up, getting ready, waiting for that 0.25 to fire, and he's away. It looks like he gets a pretty good start. You see a little bit of a stack up there behind him. And it looks like critically for that 76 of Jim Brooks, he's going to stay to the inside of that 30 car. That's going to give him the inside momentum here through 1 and 2, the shorter way around. And he should be able to come out of here with that second spot. He's got the 48 of James Ledford right behind him. and can't quite clear the 30, but again, I think right now that bottom line through 3 and 4 will still be beneficial. He should be able to clear him here off of turn number 4. Yeah, it looks like he has now. Looks like you see that 0.25. He's already protecting the top side, but I think that the inside line still is going to have the speed that he needs. But this is going to be where the aggression picks up, and you see the 76 sends it down into turn number 1 and 2. It's going to clear that 0.25, so now he's going to have to try to get to the top. But right now he actually stays and protects the bottom. Looks like he's going to try to see maybe possibly pull James Ledford along. Let's say he's going to have to be careful not to wait too long before he gets to the top side. And looks like he'll clear him now. And yeah, there he goes. He's going to jump to the top side. But of course, you see the big, trouble further back there. I saw the 722 and another driver make contact. We stay green. But actually, still Jim Brooks running the inside line here through 1 and 2. James Ledford right behind him. So watch as they go through the back. You see the 48 and the 0.25 side by side. But right now, again, I'm a little surprised to say if I'm that spotter or crew chief for that 76, I'm telling him get to the top, don't run the bottom anymore, especially off of turn 2. But right now, of course, going to have to protect the bottom here through contact between 28 and 0.25 and the 48. They make contact. James trying to keep it straight. We're going to stay green for the moment. 48 spins around. He's going to try to get this thing looped back around here. And it looks like we will stay green. Nope, caution has just come out. Not sure if it was for James Ledford or if there was another incident on track or not. I think it may have been for James trying to get back settled there. So yeah, so we're back under caution here with 10 to go at the line. So let's go see what happened. Let's see if that was the caution or if there's something else that happened. We can also see what happened to that 722. Yeah, it looks like the caution was for James Ledford there. But there's some heavy contact between the 722 and another driver. Looks like it may have been the 13 of Ryan Kelly. Let's go see. Yeah, you can see Ryan Kelly on the inside. It looks like just a little bit of net code possibly. We'll go back and look a little closer there. It looked like the 722 may have got a little bit loose there. Comes down a bit, yeah, and just a little bit of net code. They make contact and say nothing Ryan could do. They just get hooked now, and then just heavy contact for both of them into that outside wall. And I thought I saw the 722 actually blows his motor in the process of that. So just not the night that Eric Schaus was looking for there. So he is in the pits here. And again, a little bit of mixed bag on the pit stops. Looks like now the leaders here mostly staying out under this yellow. Looks like from about 9th place Dalton Hayes on back, they went ahead and made pit stops here. So yeah, we'll wait. We'll let everybody cycle through, see what's going to happen here on the pit stop cycle, and then we'll rejoin the field here on the 1 to go. All right, lights are off on the pace car. You see, it looks like Jack Wall's trying to make sure he's got the traction he needs in that number 83 car. So he's going to have to do everything he can to try to stay with that 76 car. Again, we mentioned Leader has control of these restarts, so he's going to have to be quick on the draw. Saying we're going to restart here with 5 to go. Not in the green, white, checker territory yet. However, if we do get another yellow, that'll definitely put us in that window. I'll say again, the top looks like top 10, top 11 drivers all stayed out there under that last yellow. So they got about 10 lap more older tires than Dwight Plush in the 44, who took 2 tires actually. And it looks like Corey Lane on back went ahead and took 4. So yeah, this is going to be definitely a big run to the finish here. So going to be a lot of aggression again. And it'll be interesting to see is with the tires and of course getting up to speed, if and when they need to get to the top side, because again, this might be a bottom feeder for the first couple laps, but at some point someone might need to jump to the top, so we're gonna have to wait and see. Pace car's just about to pull up. There he goes. Now wait for that 76 to fire off. He looks like he's gonna wait a little bit. There he goes. Actually, Jack gets a really good start there. He's gonna try to see if he can drop to the inside here off of the after he passes the start finish line. He does. So he's gonna try here. So we got 5 to go. Got the 76, 83, 1, 2. Then you got the 0, 25 and the 23 side by side for that third position. But right now, Jim Burke's going to have to do all he can to hold off the 83 of Jack Walls. See, Jack's going to use the momentum, get to the top side here. Again, I think the inside still should be the preferred line for the moment, but we'll see if he's able to hold off Jack there on the outside. And Jack's able to get to his outside quarter panel, so he's going to have to keep it pinched to the inside. So he's going to have the travel here. He's got the inside line, but yeah, Jack's actually holding him pretty steady there. And we are actually back under caution. Now it's going to be all about who had the position at the time of the yellow. You see these two running side by side, so I can't tell right now if it's going to be the 76 or the 83. It's up to iRacing to determine that. Looks like basically they're backing up. Looks like Jim's going to just hold on to the lead here. So let's go and see what brought out this caution, which is going to put us under our first attempt of a green-white checkered finish. Alright, looks like it may have been contact between, you see him 3 wide here. We got the 94 on the inside. Oh, looks like Corey just washes up a bit into the 50 of Dave Leclerc. Again, we talked about Dave just having no luck at all, and it continues, unfortunately. So you see the 09. Oh, and the more cars get piled in here as well. Heavy contact for Len McNeese there in the 084. Charles Johnson then gets hooked around. He makes heavy contact with the 88 as well. Oh, more damage for Ryan Kelly. The 47 looks like he may have had a bit of contact as well. So yeah, these drivers just not having the luck that they've been wanting to this evening. So a lot of cars with a lot of damage here. See the 88 there was one of them that had the damage. The 28 we saw Charles Johnson. I think the 38 may have had some. That's the 36. 38 there. Yeah, he got sent around as well. And then Ryan Kelly mentioned it's like he got a little bit caught up in that one as well. So a lot of these drivers in the pits again getting some more repairs done. See the 36 of Art Peck. Looks like he got the wave around. So yeah, let's put Art back on the lead lap here. So yeah, so I'll say kind of that was a really lucky break there. I think for that 76 of Jim Brooks. Jack got a great restart, got right to his outside there, and then I think if not for that yellow, I think Jack probably had the advantage there on that last 3 starts. So let's say the thing that he's got going for him now is he's going to need to get a better restart, and then he should be able to protect the bottom now. I think I say with the green-white checker, I don't think it's enough time for that top line to work. So I think now you're going to see these drivers jump to the bottom and probably stick with that bottom side throughout the run. Of course, you got to make sure you don't pinch it too much either, because if you keep it pinched down like that, it definitely opens up the opportunity for losing that momentum on the exit. So it's definitely not over. Say Jack Walls is going to put up a really big fight, I'm sure. He's been really strong in a lot of these races lately. That yellow 83 Pennzoil car, Jack's been doing a great job with that. And then yeah, we got a few potential new faces here. Going to try to get a top 3 finish there. You see that 025, we mentioned him, Nick Flory. He's still on those 2 tires. And then right to his outside is going to be that 23 of Brandon Passalacqua. That car's looked pretty clean all night. And then right there in that 5th position is Harrison Chandler in that number 30. He's also done a pretty good job this evening, keeping that car towards the front. Started 3rd, running 5th. And of course, Maxwell Caldwell was involved in that earlier incident when he was going for the lead and just made contact between himself and Eric Schaus there out of turn number 2, just fighting for the same real estate there. Maxwell having a really good recovery to get back up into 6th place at this point in the race. So yeah, definitely don't count him out to make another charge here before things are said and done as well. Alright, lights are off on the pace car. See that 83 Jack Walls again, making sure those tires are ready to roll. He's going to need to get another one of those restarts. Let's say, I think if you're Jim Brooks on 76, you're going to have to try to switch things up a little bit, do something that you didn't do last time. Because obviously Jack got a great restart on the last one, so he's going to need to try to get a bigger gap on the 83 car. So I feel like if you can get a big enough gap here on this restart, you might just be able to hold off to get, as long as you can get to that 1 to go, of course. So I'd say that's going to be the goal for that 76, and saying all these drivers behind, they're just going to try to be as quick as they can on this start and try to keep that gap as close as they can to those cars in front of them and take advantage of any opportunity. So probably going to see a lot of aggression, a lot of 2, 3, hopefully not more than 3 wide racing here coming to the finish. This is, again, green, white checker attempt number 1. We do have up to 3 attempts if they need it. So we'll see if they can get to the white flag, though. I need to see immediately gone. That's a good start there for Jim Brooks. He wanted to go as soon as that pace car dropped off, and he has got a good head of steam here going into turn number 1. So saying you see Jack Walls just able to clear that 0.25 of Nick Fleury. So that's right now the battle for second. A little further back is that 30 car of Harrison Chandler. He's got a hard charging 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. Brandon Pastelacqua to his outside. So let's say we'll keep an eye on this battle up front, though, because here comes Jack Walls again. He's got a lot of momentum. He's making that top side work again this time, so that 76 is going to have to be careful as they come out of turn number 4. He wants to see that white flag and see if he can get it to the end here, and we do get to that white flag, so this is the last lap here at Kansas. Say one thing that the Jack has going for him is he's got a lot of momentum here on that top side, and he's going to get the run here off of 2 right now. Jack Walls holding that outside line. I think Jim's going to have to try to, he's kind of, I think, pinching it too low, so we'll see what he can do through 3 and 4. Jack's going to run that top side. Jim on the inside. You see the 94 Maxwell Caldwell trying to squeeze underneath that 30 car. Coming to the line, it's going to be a drag race to the finish. It's going to be inside line versus momentum at the line. I think Jack's going to grab it there at the start-finish line. Jack Wall is going to pull off the win by, looks like, 0.02 of a second. Maxwell Caldwell is going to grab that 3rd spot over Harrison Chandler. So great recovery for Maxwell to get all the way back up to 3rd after that incident there towards the end of the race. However, our race winner is going to be that bright yellow Pennzoil Toyota Camry of Jack Walls. So we talked about that inside-outside line. He was able to use that outside line, got the momentum he needed, and was able to pull off the win this evening. And going into the pits here, I kind of thought he would be doing some celebrating. So I'm not sure if his crew told him that he won this race yet or not, but I see him coming out to the grass. We'll see. Maybe he got the news, because that was a close finish. Yeah, there he goes. He's celebrating there in the grass here at Kansas. So again, congrats to our top three, Jack Walls, Jim Brooks, and Maxwell Caldwell. So it's going to be, I think, kind of some mixed emotions on some of these drivers here. So what we'll do is we'll start trying to get some of these drivers pulled up and have give us a rundown of how their race went here this evening. So we will start with the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. Again, like I mentioned, probably going to be a little bit of mixed emotions on this from a lot of these drivers here tonight, other than a race winner, I feel like. But let's go ahead and pull Maxwell in here, grab that third place finish. Obviously, not an easy race for you tonight. They had a really good car in the beginning, kind of just dominated the beginning of the race. And then just kind of the pit strategy moved you back a little bit. And then from there, just that contact, you had that really good outside run and just had contact. It was kind of fighting for the same real estate off of turn 2. And somehow worked your way all the way back up into that third position there. You had to fight hard to get back to where you were here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Had a great car tonight. Kansas, I tell y'all every week, most of these tracks aren't my best tracks. Kansas is one I really enjoy, getting to get up next to the wall and ride the rim there. Beginning of the race, man, just that restart, who was it? Eric, I think, had 2 tires on the restart. And so I just kind of was able to get around him early, knowing that after 4 or 5 laps, we were all going to go up top. Was able to get a second gap and ride there for a little bit. Green flag pit stops hit and stayed out just long enough to where I could make it on fuel if it stayed green and come back out, and was actually running Eric back down, and it was going to be the battle for the lead, but we didn't get to cycle through those stops because the caution came out. And then from there, I had 4 or 5 laps on the tires. I kind of thought, man, if I can get some fresh ones, I can stick the bottom when everybody else slides up. So that strategy threw that caution really threw the race for a loop is what I think. It got everybody all on mixed strategies. And then, was running up front, and I haven't seen a replay. I feel like I was there and kind of got squeezed into the wall and then bounced like a ping pong ball and caused a big crash. So sorry to that, but I kind of felt like I was there off turn 2. And already had a nose there, but after that restart, I just said, you know what, it's time to go. Done, used up all my fast repairs. It's time to get after it. So did what I could, avoided all those wrecks. Luckily, got the inside lane for most of the restarts. And that last one right there, man, I just had to put it 3 wide there going into 3. I had to do something. The hole was there, and I had to take it. So solid finish, all things considered. But, man, feel like I had the car to lead the most laps and win tonight. So come up short.
Yeah, so that's kind of a feeling. It'd be kind of one of those mixed emotions where it's like, yeah, of course you're glad to get back up to third, but yeah, of course one of those what could have been type races, of course. And yeah, I do think you probably had the pace for sure this evening. Like you said, Kansas is definitely, I'd say, of the 1.5 mile tracks, I think Kansas is kind of that odd one out where you're not hugging the bottom. You got to run that wall once you get a few laps in the tires. So. Like you said, it's some drivers love it, some hate it. I'm definitely not comfortable up against the wall. You definitely show that you can get it done up there. So like I said, a great run. Unfortunately, a bit had to do that recovery drive, but that's going to be critical, of course, coming down to the last quarter or so of the championship. So that's going to be critical for that. So definitely want to give you an opportunity though for any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for grabbing that third place tonight.
Shout out to all my teammates week after week. Got Ryan Kelly in there, Corey. And we got Larry helping out, and just everybody that races with us, man. We're working together and trying to get through these races one at a time. But yeah, I don't wish no bad luck on anybody. I kind of felt bad for Ryan tonight, but Jack got the win. Obviously that was great for him in the points, but Ryan kind of took a big hit, and I kind of feel bad for him. But just points race is going to get close, I think, down to the line. So we got good tracks coming up for Ryan and okay for me. So we'll see how this all shakes out between me, him, and Jack. Should be exciting for everybody.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch you guys battle out to the end. Yeah, so like you said, definitely was not a normal Ryan Kelly night for sure. Unfortunately, like you said, knowing him, he'll be back into contention here in these next weeks. So Congrats again. I say good recovery. I say, like I said, definitely don't hang your head on that one. You did an awesome job to get back up in third in the first place. So I say look forward to watching you again here in action soon.
Very much appreciate it. Appreciate the broadcast.
All right, that's our third place finisher there. That number 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. So now we got to pull up our second place finisher and talk about those mixed emotions. So I'm sure he's going to be happy about getting that second spot, but probably going to be lamenting a little bit of what could have been. Say it's just, even though we talked about those shorter runs, let's say inside might still be the way to go. Still, that outside still had a bit of momentum, maybe a little bit more than we expected there. So say not quite the spot of course you're wanting to get there, but it was a really good fight there between you and Jack to on that green white checker attempt there to bring it to the end.
Yeah, not what I wanted, but it was fun, and I knew that the odds were not good that I was going to be able to hold him up. I just wanted to push up a little more in the corners to make him go a little higher, but then I was worried that it would continue to push, so I just went ahead and tried to hold it low because there was enough laps on the tires that it was going to be unpredictable. But I can't complain. It was a fun race. Almost 80 laps with all my quick fixes gone, so I didn't know what to do, and luckily came out in fourth place after that one caution when Ryan and I pitted late and came out, and that sort of helped a lot.
Yeah, so no, I didn't realize you're out of fast repairs there. So yeah, definitely all changed the way you race there towards the end. I was saying it's I'm sure even more difficult on you as you're towards the front, and it's like, well, you want to be aggressive and stay to the front, but at the same time, you obviously want to try to keep the car in one piece. So so kind of one of those risk versus rewards, and like you said, you probably could have squeezed Jack up a little higher and gave yourself a bigger arc into the turn, but like you said, just you don't know how it's going to end up. We saw, obviously you got through that one wreck on the backstretch when the 722 and the 94 got together trying to squeeze that same gap there off of 2, so I'm sure that probably ran through your mind a little bit as well there.
Yeah, definitely. There were people taking each other out that were contenders, so that helped a little bit too. And Jack's good. He's a fast driver. He's clean. I'm not going to do anything to mess him up. So it was fun. It was an enjoyable race. I'm happy with the results.
Well, I'll say before I let you go, got to give you, of course, opportunity for thanks and chats you'd like to give for grabbing that second place though tonight.
I'll shout out to Quabi in case he's watching. Your brother, my other son, the favorite one, is that it?
Yeah, the favorite son.
So hi to him and all his family.
All right, well, again, great round. Say first last week, second this week. So, again, you talk about just never thought you'd be able to get a win. So in contention for 2 weeks in a row. So got the momentum going the right way. See if you can keep it going for that third week next week.
Yeah, thanks for the coverage.
All right, that's our second place finisher, Jim Brooks, in that number 76 machine. However, now we got to jump over to our race winner, that bright yellow Pennzoil car. So that's all Jack looks for in a sponsor. It's got to be yellow. It's got to have Pennzoil on it, and he's going to find a way to put it into victory lane this evening. So I wasn't sure if you're going to be able to make that top line work on that green-white checkered, but you got the momentum going, and you made it happen there, Jack. What was that kind of your plan? Was to just try to see how, not run the wall, of course, but just stay just to the outside corner of that 76 car and see if you can get the run on the exits, or what was going through your mind there in those restarts?
Yeah, on those restarts, being on the outside, I think I had the advantage because we had 10 or 12 laps on the tires, and you can run that low line with for the first 5 laps, but after that, I think the outside line is the faster line after that, and I was lucky enough to be on the outside through all those restarts, and it worked out great for me.
And I said it wasn't a race without drama for you as well. Obviously you started on a pole, would get the wins. That's obviously a huge thing to do tonight, especially with some of the competition that you have to face. But then, had that early speeding penalty. Unfortunately, I did catch it. So you had to work your way through the back all the way, and had to work your way all the way back to the front. The only, of course, silver lining was you had it happen early, so you had the time to do it. But you had to work for it, and you made a lot of gain under those green flag runs there. And I think maybe at one point, you snuck a few spots on that restart wreck where you're able to get around that one. But yeah, so you definitely had to work for it this evening. Was there anything that really stood out for you tonight with that race?
No, I thought the setup was pretty nice. It ran good. You could run low, like I said, for 5 laps, and then move it up high and go full throttle for about 5 more laps, and then just start letting off, entering the corners, and it seemed like the tires held pretty good. I was practicing that all through practice, running the high line all through practice, so I had a lot of experience running that tonight, and it felt great. And how about that? Going from first to last on that first caution. I can't believe I got caught speeding there. My tack never showed that I was speeding, but I guess I was. But
Yeah, gonna have to fire the crew guys to calibrate that tack after the race. But I say you were able to recover, like I said, first to last, back to first. I say I had to work hard to get it done there, Jack. And I say we were joking during practice that I say you had some competition with another Pennzoil car on the track. So I say you had to show them who the bright.
yeah, there might have been another Pennzoil car. They can imitate, but they can't duplicate.
That's perfect. So I say that's actually perfect. I say we're gonna segue that into any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for pulling off the win this evening tonight here at Kansas.
As usual, like to thank Pennzoil being my sponsor and giving me this bright yellow car.
Congrats again, Jack. I say great job this evening. Congrats on the win. I say it's going to definitely tighten up the points battle as well. So it's going to be exciting to watch and see how that's going to look at coming into the next week. So you're going to kind of in the final quarter of into this final quarter of the season coming up here. So it's going to be kind of all hands on deck, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be lots of fun. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, congrats again, Jack. Enjoy it, and I look forward to chatting with you again here soon.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, that's our racer into that bright yellow Pennzoil machine. So that's all he asks for, and he's able to deliver with it tonight here at Kansas. So now we're going to pull up our results for the race. So Jack Wall getting the win again by 0.02 of a second over Jim Brooks there. Maxwell Caldwell able to squeeze his way underneath Harrison Chandler and Brendan Pasalacqua to grab that third place. But great top fives for those two drivers as well. I think this may have been Harrison's one of his first races here in this Thursday Night Cup Series. So congrats to Harrison on a great run tonight. Nick Fleury held on to 6th with those 2 tires during his pit stop, so did all he could there with a slightly older set of tires. So great run for him as well. James Ledford able to get up into the 7th position. Dalton Hayes recovers all the way up to 8th. Dwight Plesh gets a top 10 as well as Corey Lane. So great job to those drivers as well. So pull up 11th through 20th. Say Ryan Kelly somehow actually able to pull out an 11th place finish, as it was not the night he was looking for this evening, but good recovery for him to at least make the best of a bad situation tonight. Charles Johnson got that late lucky dog, grab his way all the way up into that 12th position on those final restarts. So then you got Corey Cook, Art Peck there, David Clare rounding out our top 15. Again, Dave just needs to find some luck, just has had none of it lately. So hopefully he'll turn his chances and opportunities around here in these next coming weeks. And you got Michael Spell as that last car on the lead lap. Had some pretty heavy damage, I think, out of fast repairs as well. Mike Morrison in 17th, David Patton in 18th, Len McNeese 19th, Eric Schaus in 20th. Say those drivers just not having the evenings they're looking for. We're up front at times in the race, just had some bad luck towards the end. Say we saw Eric there contact with Maxwell, to obviously with that big incident there fighting for the lead, and then he had some contact a little later on there with their 13 Ryan Kelly, which I think popped the motor, and I think that was all he had for the evening. And then you see the remainder of the field there. Nicholas Nook, Mark Brown, unfortunately caught up in an incident not of his doing, say had to retire afterwards. And then Cody Cox, I think, may have had some connection issues, or something may have happened with that 9 car. He had to retire early, unfortunately, as well. So with that, though, actually, you can see there's the 2 Pennzoil cars in the shot there. The race winner, that number 83 of Jack Walls, 66 of Mike Morrison. So I say Pennzoil is going to be happy to have their cars in both of these pictures here. But again, congrats to our top 3, Jack Walls, Jim Brooks, and Maxwell Caldwell, on the results this evening. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it here at Kansas. Again, this is definitely one of the tougher mile and a halves when you have to run that top side pretty much all the way around once you get a few laps on those tires. So that being said, happy Friday Eve. Hope you all have a wonderful end of the week. I say we got Labor Day coming up, so I hope you all get the opportunity to have a 3-day, if not more, weekend as well. We'll be back, though, I believe, on Sunday for the Super Speedway Cup Series, so I look forward to being a part of that with you all. And so, yeah, so until then, I hope you all have a wonderful evening, a wonderful weekend. And remember, if you can at all possible, please try to stay home, stay safe, wash your hands. And until Sunday, have